Third reason why most of these women are still single, because they're looking for a provider. They want a man to pay all the bills, but most of these women don't even qualify for a man to pay all the bills. The seventh reason why most of you women are still single, because you can't cook, clean, or do laundry, can't perform in the bedroom, and then you get mad when your man gets a side.
A lot of women aren't single because they can't be chosen. They're single because they finally realized what they were choosing wasn't worth keeping.
I don't know what it is about being single, but when you are single, you realize that you don't need anybody. And what that does is shift you from accepting the bare minimum. Then you start learning how to wait for someone who's going to truly add value to your life.
For a long time, being single was treated like a temporary phase for women, as if life was on hold until a man came along and chose them. But that mindset is changing. More women are realizing that being in a relationship is not automatically better than being alone. So let's talk about why more women are choosing to stay single.
I always get asked, why are you single? Why are you single? You must have so many options. And the reality is I do, but there's shit. Look, I'm going to keep it 100% here. Y'all can say whatever about how I talk, but I'm sticking to G code. There's a lot of fool shit y'all be doing that I'm not comfortable doing. I'm not going to date a homosexual. I'm not going to play the makeup breakup games. I don't give a fuck if you always come home. Bitch, you should have never fucking left. I'm not playing the last woman standing game. I'm not going to entertain you if you're entertaining multiple people. I'm not fucking taking or married men. I'm not doing none of that shit. And I'm also not going to accept somebody who's not equally yoked to me in matters of emotional intelligence, actual intelligence, financial capacity. I've got high standards and high expectations, and I want somebody who's not degraded morally. And the reality is, I will stay alone until I find that. I will die alone if I don't. When a man is pursuing me, he is never competing with other men. He's not competing with the attention that I give other men. He is competing with the peace that my solitude brings me. If you don't bring me more peace than I can obtain by my lonely, I am all the way good on being with you. I am cool alone. Yes, I want to love and I want a man to cherish, but it can't just be anybody, you know?
Why is it that when I meet older women that are in their 50s and 60s and I ask them, what's the secret recipe for you staying young? And each and every time they tell me it's being single, avoiding a man. And then it started to make sense. I was just in the mirror a second ago looking at myself and I said, girl, now where did that blemish come from? Where did that wrinkle come from? Because it wasn't there 3 weeks ago before you started entertaining a man.
One of the biggest reasons that some women are choosing to stay single is because they have finally experienced peace. And now they understand how expensive the wrong relationship can be. There was a time when being single felt scary because women were constantly made to feel like something was missing. You would go to family gatherings and somebody would ask, so when are you bringing someone? You would see engagement pictures all over social media. Your friends will be getting married, they'll be having children, moving in with their partners, and suddenly being single could start to feel like you were falling behind. But then some women actually started living alone. They started making their own decisions, managing their own money, decorating their homes the way they wanted. They started sleeping peacefully, going wherever they wanted to go, and realizing something very important, that their life is actually not bad without a relationship in it. And once a woman gets comfortable with peace, the standard changes. Because now, a man is no longer competing with loneliness. He is competing with her peace.
Let me tell you why being single right now could be the best power move you could ever make. 5 reasons that'll make you stop questioning it. 5. Rebuilding boundaries. You learn what you will and what you won't allow. And that's not just self-love, but that's self-respect. Once your boundaries are solid, you'll be unstoppable. 4, raising your standards. I don't know what it is about being single, but when you are single, you realize that you don't need anybody. And what that does is shift you from accepting the bare minimum. Then you start learning how to wait for someone who's going to truly add value to your life. Number 3, the freedom to glow up. Every ounce of energy goes into you, your career, your body, your mental health, your bag. Focusing on you and working on your passions is the best way to glow up. And that glow, it just hit different when you're building for yourself. Number 2, healing season. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. You cannot build on a healthy relationship with unhealed wounds. Staying single gives you the space to actually heal instead of using somebody else for a band-aid. And number 1, clarity over chaos. Being single, it clears all the noise. No mixed signals, no games, just you focusing on what you actually want without all those distractions. So stop seeing single as a problem. Being single right now is just the assignment. Being single right now is where you grow, where you heal, where you set yourself up to win. And trust me, when you're aligned, healthy love, it will not pass you by.
I'm single for many reasons, but the main reason why I'm single and why I don't want to date and talk to nobody is because I don't want to have to consider how I make somebody feel, and I don't want to consider no one else's feelings but my own. I don't. Like, I don't care about your day, honestly. I don't care if you ate. I don't care.
A woman choosing to remain single doesn't automatically mean that she hates men. It doesn't automatically mean that she is bitter, and it does not automatically mean that she has been hurt and now that she is pretending she doesn't want love. And it also doesn't mean that she is sitting around hoping to prove that she does not need anybody. Sometimes a woman is simply okay. She may still believe in love. She may still want companionship. She may still be open to meeting somebody, but she is no longer willing to force it. And I think that is where the phrase single by choice really comes in. It does not always mean I will never date a man for the rest of my life. Sometimes it simply means I would rather remain single than being in the wrong relationship. That is a choice. And it is a choice more women are allowing themselves to make. You can be in a relationship and be miserable. You can be married and be lonely. You can be with someone lying next to you every night and still feel completely unseen. So if a woman is going to give up the freedom, peace, time, energy, and independence that she enjoys while being single, and yes, she is probably going to expect something meaningful in return.
If you are a woman 35 and over and somebody say, "Why are you single?" This is what I want you to do. I want you to say, "Next," because that person, right, who you're sitting across, who's asking you a question, is in a relationship. Because if that person wasn't in a relationship, why would they ask you that question? Because the reason why you're there on a date with them is assuming that you are single and they're single. But if they're asking you, why are you still single? It means that they have a relationship somewhere. And so, why would they ask you, why are you still single? Aren't they single too?
This is probably reason number 500,000 of why I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. And I'm fine with that. I don't want to do anything for you. I don't want to cook for you. I don't want to clean for you. I don't want to be your secretary and set your appointments and chase you around and make you go because of your health. I don't want to pick up your socks for you. I don't want to be one of those people who comes on TikToks and makes funny videos about how you can't do anything for yourself and men do the darndest things and everybody's in the comments like, yeah, my husband does that too. My boyfriend does that too. Fuck that. I want to be with somebody who is an adult, a fully functioning adult. It's been proven time and time again that men are the ones who benefit from marriage and relationships because we get in them and we do everything and they just get to sit back and receive everything from us. And then as a treat, they might do something for our birthday or for Mother's Day. Men get to exist in relationships and just receive. Why can't we exist together? And if we do nice things for each other, it's just organic. It just happens. But it's not the expectation. It's not something I have to do because I'm the woman. When I come home after a long day, I don't want to cook either. I don't want to do shit either. Why can't we flip a coin to see who cooks, or if we order food and then whoever cooks, the other person cleans? Why can't you pick up after yourself? Why can't you set your own appointments? Why do I have to be your secretary? I'm not working for you. I'm not working for you. I have gotten so lazy. I'm not doing anything. And then there are men who will say, well, then what are you good for? What's the reason why someone should be with you? You're proving my point. You just want to be with somebody to do everything for you.
A lot of women are choosing to stay single simply because they have watched other women settle and they do not like what they saw. Maybe it was their mother, maybe it was their aunt, or it was a friend who rushed into a relationship simply because she was afraid of getting older alone. Maybe it was somebody who stayed with a man who cheated repeatedly just because she had already invested too many years. Sometimes watching another woman's life can teach you everything you need to know about what you do not want. Because marriage or relationships are not automatically happy ending. Having a man does not automatically mean you are loved. Having a ring does not automatically mean you are respected. Living with someone does not automatically mean you are not alone. Some of the loneliest women are in relationships, and I think more women are becoming honest about that. Before, there was so much pressure to make relationships look successful from the outside. You could be miserable, but as long as you had wedding pictures and couple of photos, everybody assumed that you were winning. But now, some women are looking past the image. They are asking what the actual day-to-day experience looks like. Are you happy? Are you respected? Do you feel free? Do you feel safe? Are you constantly sacrificing yourself just to keep the relationship together? Because if the price of not being single is losing yourself, then some women would rather remain single. Being 30, 35, 40 or older does not mean that you suddenly have to start accepting behavior that you would have rejected 10 years ago. Some women would rather remain alone because settling just to say that you are no longer single is starting to look like a very bad deal.
There are two more reasons why I think I'm going to probably be single for a while, and I'm totally fine with that. I don't trust anyone around my children. I have heard too many horror stories of women who are super trusting and they let the man move in, or they move in with the guy, and then the kid grows up and was like, yeah, the guy was doing things to me, he was just really sketchy. I just don't even want to think about that. And you could easily say, well, why would you be with someone who would do that? That's the thing. These people don't walk around with signs on their forehead that say, I'm a predator. They're so good. They're so good at being con artists that they totally slip under the radar. And they seem like these amazing people. And then something horrible happens. Don't want to put my kids in that situation. And I thought about, what if I ever meet a guy and decide to get married? I don't even want to think about that. I just don't want to put my kids in a bad situation. I don't know what the hell I would do. I'm just going to trust that fate will work it all out, but I just don't trust anybody around my kids. The next thing is, I don't need anyone trying to step in and be a parent to my kids. My kids are 17 and 15, so at this point, I've kind of done everything. I do not need anyone to swoop in and save the day and help me take care of these kids. Your job is to be my companion, to be my partner. I don't need anyone else to come in and be a parent to my kids.
One really, really nice thing about being single that I kind of forgot about after being in a relationship for so long, you get to do whatever you want on the weekends. You get to do whatever you want on weekdays, but on the weekends especially, you get to choose whatever activity it is that you want to do instead of whatever that other person wants to do, which is not something that I'm used to and I took for granted. Like today was just a relaxing Saturday. I went and got my nails done, pedicure and manicure. I shopped around at the thrift store for a little bit. I'm gonna go see a movie with my mom tonight. Like, I have to do anything that other person wants to do. My whole weekend is open, and it's just so nice. It's beautiful.
Another reason some women are comfortable staying single is because they are no longer putting their lives on hold while waiting for relationship to happen. For a long time, some women were raised with the idea that certain parts of life would only really begin once they found a partner. It was maybe I'll travel when I meet someone, or I'll buy that house when I get married, or I'll make that big move when I have somebody by my side, without even realizing it, that they were waiting for a relationship to give them permission to start living. But more women are starting to ask themselves, why am I waiting? If I want to travel, I can travel now. If I want to move to another city, change careers, start a business, try something new, or simply enjoy my life, why does a man have to come first? That mindset changes everything about being single, because when you are sitting around feeling like your real life has not started yet, being single can feel lonely and frustrating. But when you already have a life you enjoy, being single is no longer the center of your whole existence. You have friends, you have families, interests, goals, hobbies, works, plans, and things that are exciting. And that does not mean a woman suddenly doesn't want love. It simply means she is no longer waiting around for a relationship to give her life meaning.
So here's 3 reasons that I am 60 and single. First of all, I divorced on year 29 of my marriage. I left at 54, 6 years ago, so I'm still single. Secondly, when you're meeting guys now, they jump to conversations that are way more intimate than what I desire to be in getting to know you. So that's out. Explicit with things that, no, I'm just meeting you. Absolutely not. Then they want to ask you questions and make you feel like you want to interview. Like, what do you do? What do you like to do when you're not working? What do you like? Maybe it's just me, but I don't like to feel like I'm being interviewed for the role, interviewed for the job. Like, can we just talk and talk about things, talk about the world, talk about what's going on, and then let things just flow organically. But as far as the succession of questions, making me feel like I have to answer the questions correctly to be chosen, I'm not on that time. I'm just not about that life. I'm just not going to do that. Let's just talk. And then I say, oh, I painted this, or I made this, or I went here. Let's just talk. Let's just let it flow. Can we get back to being organic in conversation, please?
Be honest with me. What is the real reason why you're single right now? The actual reason why.
Because I absolutely hate our current dating and hookup culture. And the reason I hate it is because nobody takes each other seriously anymore. Everyone would much rather have a good time than a good thing, so no one fully invests in you, and in return, you don't fully invest in them. So you end up just playing games and communicating in really, really childish manners. Nobody's fully honest with their intentions, their feelings, or what they truly want. And everyone is so terrified of commitment, either from past trauma in relationships or because their standards are now so ridiculously high that you as a human being can never mess up. And if you even show signs of it, they cut you off right away. Now as human beings, we've just decided that we can't compromise on anything, even things that are personality traits in other people. I also do enjoy being single though. Focus on you.
Some women have looked at the dating experience and have simply gotten tired. They are tired of the talking stages. They are tired of the mixed signals. They are tired of people acting interested and then disappearing. They are tired of being asked what they bring to the table by men who do not even bring basic emotional maturity. They are tired of investing time into somebody who turns out to be married, emotionally unavailable, dishonest, or just looking for temporary access. And after enough bad experiences, some women have decided to step back. Not necessarily forever, but as long enough to ask themselves, do I even enjoy this? You meet somebody, you start talking, You try to get to know them. You figure out whether they are being honest. You watch for red flags. You try not to be too available, but not too distant at the same time. You wonder whether he likes you. You wonder whether he's talking to 5 other women. You wonder whether he's serious. And eventually, some women are like, you know what, I'm tired. And it's valid. Not everybody wants to spend every free weekend going out on dates with strangers, hoping that one of them will turn out into a relationship. Some women will rather stay alone.
11 reasons why most women are still single. Part 2. Let's get to the first reason why most women are still single, because in their mind, a man is only a real man when he's doing something that she wants him to do. But when a man has self-respect and self-worth and he's not going to fall sucker to her bullshit, he's considered sassy. The second reason why most women are still single, because they run their mouth past their pockets, they don't know when to shut up, and they don't know how to control their mind. The third reason why most of these women are still single, because they're looking for a provider. They want a man to pay all the bills, but most of these women don't even qualify for a man to pay all their bills. The fourth reason why most of these women are still single, because they got 8 kids by 13 different men, and they're talking about requirements and expectations. You should be happy a man even blessing you with his presence. The fifth reason why most of you women are still single, because you want the wedding, not the marriage. You want to be a bride instead of the wife. The sixth reason why most of you women are still single, because you get comfortable, complacent, you let yourself go, and you think a man's still supposed to love you unconditionally. The seventh reason why most of you women are still single, because you can't cook, clean, or do laundry, can't perform in the bedroom, and then you get mad when your man gets a side chick. The eighth reason why most of you women are still single, because you can't provide what you require. That's a huge red flag. The ninth reason why most of you women are still single, because you're raising the men that you hate. The 10th reason why most of you women are still single, because if God blessed you with a good man right now, you wouldn't know what to do with him, because you women are so used to losing, you don't realize when you won. The 11th reason why most of you women are still single, because you're just not a good woman. When it comes to men, you're very unsuccessful with finding one.
There was a time when marriage was not always about love or companionship for women. For many women throughout history, marriage was also connected to survival. A woman needed access to resources. She needed financial stability. She needed social protection. She needed somebody to provide certain things because she did not always have the same opportunity to earn, own property, or build an independent life. When a woman can support herself, pay her own bills, and build a career, buy things for herself, travel if she wants to, and then create a life that she enjoys, she starts making relationship decisions from a very different place. She's not necessarily asking, who is going to take care of me? She may be asking, why should I combine my life with somebody who makes it harder? A financially independent woman is not necessarily saying that she does not want love. She is saying that she does not need to accept just anything in order to survive. When survival is attached to a relationship, walking away can feel almost impossible. But when a woman knows that she can take care of herself, she has more freedom to say no. No to the man who wants her to contribute financially like a modern woman and also still expects her to perform every traditional duty at home. No to the man who thinks her independence means that he does not have to bring anything to the table. No to the man who wants access to her income, her time, her body, her labor, and her emotional support, while giving her confusion and stress in return. And this is why some women are becoming more comfortable staying alone.
I did a video that went viral recently about how women are prioritizing peace over low-grade, low-effort relationships with men. And the number one comment that I got from men was, well, fine, if you can live without us, we're just not going to protect you anymore. So first of all, who exactly are you protecting us from? Is it Sarah that we're afraid is going to break into our home and assault us? Or is it men? Is it men that you're protecting us from? Secondly, when women say that we'd rather have peace and safety, we're not talking about physical safety. We're talking about emotional safety. The reason there is an epidemic of lonely, depressed men is because women would rather be alone than in an emotionally unsafe relationship. I feel that we're in emotional danger when we can't be vulnerable and express how we feel. We're being constantly criticized or put down or ignored. Before all the men run to the comments and say, well, we want to be valued too. Yes, you deserve that. But why are 72% of divorces initiated by women? And why statistically are women thriving in singledom and men are not? It is because women en masse are willing to put in the work, be self-reflective, and do what it takes to show up, and men simply are not.
I think the reason why a lot of women aren't dating men anymore is because collectively we have realized that we have been pouring more into these relationships and these marriages than we have been getting into it, and we have been losing a lot of our power, giving away so much of our power to someone that is not even reciprocating it and can up and do what they want to do throughout the situation. We're also realizing that women get into relationships because they actually want to be in them. Men get into them as a convenience, as a way for them to just live their married life and have control over somebody while they get to have their cake and eat it too. Also, we realize how men are very insecure and they are unhealed, and because they go into situations insecure and unhealed, they are hurting and traumatizing women, so they really need to heal before they try to marry anybody. And women are at a point now where they're realizing I'd rather be by myself than be with the man that's going to tear me down. It's an earthly tower moment to get men to step up.
Another reason some women are choosing to remain single is because they are tired of carrying the entire emotional weight of a relationship. And this is something that does not always show up when people are looking at a couple from the outside. From the outside, people might see a woman with a boyfriend or a husband and think, oh, she has somebody. But having somebody and having a partner are not necessarily the same thing. Some women have spent years being the one who remembers everything, who communicates everything, plans everything, fixes everything. They are the one who brings up every problem. They are the ones to suggest therapy. They explain basic consideration. They are the ones who will still remind him about important dates. They are the ones who manages the emotional atmosphere. And then somehow they still get called nagging when she finally says she's tired. And after doing that for years, some women are saying, you know what, I would rather take care of myself, because being single can be less exhausting than constantly trying to drag another adult through a relationship. Imagine constantly having to explain that you should not have to beg somebody to call you back. You should not have to repeatedly explain why lying is a problem. You should not have to prepare a PowerPoint presentation every time you want your feelings to be taken seriously. And some women have reached the point where they are tired of teaching grown men how to care about them. A relationship is supposed to involve two people showing up. But when someone is doing all the communication, all the emotional reflection, all the compromising, and all the work to keep the relationship alive, eventually she starts asking herself something very uncomfortable. What exactly is this relationship doing for me? And that question can change everything, because women have realized that they can actually have more energy when they are single, and they sleep better. They had more time for themselves.
80% of single women aren't even interested in dating a guy anymore. Do you know why? Because men are not men anymore. Now, by that, I'm not saying that men are all hyper-feminized. What I'm saying is, even the masculine ones, the alpha males, can't even sort out a date properly. They don't even know the sidewalk rule. They don't even know how to pick up a girl, open doors for her. The usual basic stuff, like pulling out a chair, grabbing her coat in the restaurant and taking it off. They think that that's cringe. They think that splitting the bill on a date makes them a masculine man. Fuck off! These ladies just want a guy that's going to say, hey, I want to meet you tomorrow at 8 o'clock because I'm really interested in you and getting to know you. It doesn't matter about the bill or the whereabouts of the restaurant. I'm not thinking that you're trying to use me for a free meal or anything like that, you know. They just want a guy that's just going to say, I'm interested in you, let's go, date tomorrow night, I want to get to know you. They ask questions. Believe it or not, guys, ladies know that you're not interested because you're not asking any questions about her.
Before, a woman might have tolerated a man constantly calling up and checking up on her just because she didn't want to be alone. She might have accepted disrespect, emotional confusion, cheating, jealousy, constant arguments, or a relationship that left her crying every other week, just because at least she could say she had somebody. But once she had spent enough time single and realized that being alone does not automatically mean being lonely, that desperation starts disappearing. So imagine coming home after a long day and your house is quiet, nobody is angry with you, nobody is giving you the silent treatment, nobody is demanding an explanation for why you got home late, nobody is creating drama because you liked a picture or you spoke to a co-worker or you did something without asking for permission. You can eat what you want, you can watch what you want, you can sleep the way you want. And also, you can spend your money without asking for permission to purchase everything. Now, that doesn't mean that every relationship can destroy your peace. Of course, no. But a healthy relationship can actually add to your life. If a relationship is going to enter a woman's life, it has to add something. Because if the relationship is bringing more stress than being single, then what exactly is she signing up for? A lot of women are no longer impressed simply because a man wants to be in a relationship with them. The question is no longer, does he want me? The question now has become, is my life actually better with him in it? And if the answer is no, then being single does not feel like losing anymore. It feels like protecting what she already has. At the end of the day, being single is not automatically a sad life, and being in a relationship is not automatically a successful one. But more women are realizing that the goal is not simply to stop being single. The goal is to build a life that feels good to live. And if the right relationship comes along and genuinely adds to that life, beautiful. But if that does not, more women are becoming comfortable saying, I am actually okay here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.